Good morning. I'm Rob Venette. I'm the director of the Minnesota Invasive Terrestrial Plants and Pest Center in the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resources Sciences here at the U. And on behalf of Heather Koop, the associate director of our center, I'd like to thank you for attending this special symposium to discuss the possible unintended consequences of soybean aphid management on once common prairie butterflies in Minnesota, in particular, the Dakota skipper and the Poweshiek skipperling. When the Minnesota legislature created our center, we were asked to think very broadly about the challenges that invasive species pose to the forests, prairies, agriculture, and wetlands, and the people who value and depend on those resources in our state. Not only were we asked to research new ways to protect or mitigate invasive species threats, but we were also asked to consider how current management activities might affect air, water, and wildlife habitat. So I think it's pretty fair to say that we were given a fairly tall order. In my first week as director of the center, I was shown this graph. This one is a little bit dated, but I think it still makes the point. So this is a graph that shows the percentage of field sites with Poweshiek skipperlings in Minnesota and other states over time. And you'll see that although the numbers bounce around quite considerably, the species appears to be relatively common until around 2000. Then the populations begin to decline until they reach critically low levels. The cause of the decline is still not known for certain. But one very significant thing that happened in 2000 was the arrival of the soybean aphid. Now, this insect, originally from Asia, really transformed soybean production within the state. So formerly, this crop had very few insect problems, and insecticides were very sparsely used. But since the arrival of the soybean aphid, a substantial increase in insecticide use has been necessary to protect soybean yields and growers' livelihoods. So the timing of the arrival of the soybean aphid and its associated increase in insecticide use and the decline of these butterflies is curious and concerning. However, as we all know, correlation does not equal causation. And these butterflies also face challenges from the loss of prairie habitat, invasions by non-native plants, changes to the frequency of grassland fires, and many others. So when I first learned of this issue, one fact that became very readily apparent to me was that those involved with prairie butterfly conservation and those involved with soybean aphid had not been speaking to one another to any significant degree. So today's symposium is meant to change all of that. So our two conference co-chairs, Dr. Eric Rundquist with the Minnesota Zoo and Dr. George Heimpel with the Department of Entomology here at the University of Minnesota, are leaders on both sides of the issue. Dr. Rundquist is nationally recognized for his efforts to restore Dakota skipper and the Poweshiek skipperling. Dr. Heimpel is internationally recognized for his efforts to find sustainable approaches to soybean aphid management, particularly through biological control. Together, they have assembled an excellent group of speakers to discuss what we know about the current status of these prairie butterflies, the current state of soybean aphid management, and how these issues might be related or not. I would like to thank them for their outstanding work in organizing today's events. I would also like to extend a very special thank you to the Institute on the Environment for sponsoring this event and the Institute's director, Dr. Jessica Hellman, for moderating this morning's sessions. ION-E and MIT PPC are both committed to finding new ways to work across traditional disciplinary boundaries to find innovative solutions to problems that do not respect borders. Today is an excellent example of what we can achieve when we work together. I hope you find today's events both engaging and educational. Unfortunately, I need to leave for a meeting at the legislature, as does Heather, but I'll be back later in the day, and so I hope you enjoy the symposium. Thank you.